Alright, we're back. We got the other side freed up. I know I said I wasn't going to make a video on freeing up injectors, but I kind of modified my procedure a little bit. And we'll just go through it on this. It'll just be whatever. So, I cleaned out this as much as I could. I feel awful. This valve cover's wasted, dude. These things are so cool and like irreplaceable. Alright, we know we got some hung up over here because the damn rack don't move. So it looks like these two to start with. So, boy, I'm like out of breath now. Let's start there. So we'll just go ahead and crack them all real quick. Pretty pumped. I'm not seeing anything wrong with these valve covers. This stuff is like super clean, so kind of looks like somebody put I think somebody's put rockers on it. Those say Reliability Reman, so I don't know if somebody's done the heads or what the case may be, but every injector rocker on this side has been replaced. I'm assuming the other side's the same way. I mean, this, I don't know. I don't really have engine history on this thing, so I don't know if it's ever been in-framed. I'm not real sure what the story is on it as far as that shit goes. These are 3/4. Need a 3/4 socket. We'll pop this off. And I think, which way are we going to go? We're going to go that way. So, get this. Come here like this. And then if you grab these, they'll pop over. Cam over, that's what you want. Put your bolt back in your trunnion. Put it back in here. Send it home. It's just got to be finger tight. I like to take these and set them in their correct position over on this cylinder, the next cylinder, so they don't, nothing happens to them. Them things are pretty fragile and you don't want to tear them up. Okay, so now we got our injectors lines off. We're all clear. We'll spray out our injector same as before. Oh yeah, just beautiful. Okay. Like I said, we'll go in with it with penetrant there. That's what we want. Almost out of Freol. All right, so this injector's stuck down. I don't know how far down. Now it's down all the way. You can hear the tone change. So now we have to put our vice grips on it. Like so. Take your bar, go up. What you're doing, let me see. Shit. Let me see if I can get you guys. Actually, I got a great idea. Hang on a second, let me get you a better angle. I just thought of something. All right, so I haven't touched anything other than the camera. Let's see if we can get you some light. Make any difference? A little bit, not a ton. It's better than no light, right? I'm sure somebody will complain about it. Okay. So now you can see we got our vice grips on our bottomed out injector. We're gonna take our bar, put it through here and up on that, where it rested on that nut or on that bolt head, and then just pry up. You can see it coming there, just like that. Pop your vice grips back off. Done. So now what I like to do is I'll fill the injector back up with penetrant like that, and then hit it a few more times until you feel the plunger. It'll be hard when you hit it. Right there, you can feel it. And what that means is you're actually producing pressure inside the injector, and it's actually physically squirting that penetrant into the cylinder. So you know that the penetrant has successfully lubricated everything inside the injector. So then we pull our trunnion back off, pop our bridges, slide them back on. I just like to give them a little wiggle, make sure they feel okay, they're loose, everything's good, perfect. Cam our injectors back over, or our rockers rather, like that. Set our trunnion, pop the bolt, just like so. Now the reason I changed this procedure a little bit is because when I was doing that bus, I figured it out. And this is a lot easier in a low clearance area. So I just run them down snug with the gun. They are 100 foot-pounds, anywhere 95 to 99 foot-pounds on these. Like I said, it's 3/4. If you do decide you're not comfortable doing it this way, which this is a lot better way, you're not going to damage the injector. You have no chance of damaging the injector this way, in my opinion. I don't recommend pulling the injectors out, but if you do pull the injectors out, it's a 9/16 bolt on the back side. There is all that holds it in. It's 25 foot-pounds. That is the most critical torque spec on the engine. So we'll do, moving right along, we'll do same thing. Slider, popper. Oh man, there's even still oil in there. Impressive. Run our trunnion down like so. Pop these out. We'll put them over here. Get that injector line out of there. Bring that way. 1, 2. Okay, and then what we're gonna do, same deal. We're gonna hit it. Gotta spray it out first. I didn't spray it. It doesn't matter which end you start with. It doesn't, because you're gonna spray them both. So look at the fuel, dude. It's just yellow, filthy. The fuel in this truck smells terrible, but we're gonna run it. Spray it till it runs clear, and then hit it with your penetrant. I've never been sponsored by anybody, but I'll tell you, if there's one company on the planet I would want to be sponsored by, it's Freol right there, man. I buy this shit by the case, and it's just absolutely the best, absolute best lubricant on the planet as far as I'm concerned. All right, so I'm gonna just give her a tap, and you hear bottom. So we do need to do the vice grip. Sometimes you'll get lucky and it'll just free up if you pound on it. Ugh. But it's a lot easier if you pound on it first, like pound it all the way down, than it is to just come in with the bar. That hammering motion really does a lot to kind of, ooh. Do something else. Let's pull the trunnion out, and let's try this. What I'm gonna do, I've done this before too, is we're gonna take the injector or the bolt and run a bolt all the way down. Let's see how much lower that is. Now maybe I can get a, yeah. What you can't see is me absolutely ramming on the side of this bar. Wow. Holy shit, boys. Wow. That was the worst one I've had. Oh. Sure gonna be sticky. That's okay, we'll give her another go. That worked mint though. So if you get into a jam, that's good that we ended up doing this video, because really depends on how long these things sit. There she goes. Yeah, it's gonna be better. And this has been sitting forever. Forever, fellas. So let's give her another flush. Oh yeah, shmoo. This stuff's great for your hands. Perfect. All right. Bingo. And there's got to be another one stuck here somewhere that I can't see, because my rack ain't free. Not that one. Not that one. None of them. with this shit. Unless it's this one. That'll make me upset. It's gotta be this one. Yep. Son of a bitch. Alright, well, we'll get that one next. Don't never fear, boys. Okay, so this one's free. You know what? That's fine. It's the actual rack doesn't want to move. So our injectors are freed up. What I'm going to do for the injector video is I'm going to end it here. At least as far as this goes. We're going to I'll show you guys. I got a breakdown of an injector inside. We'll go in and I'll show you what makes an injector hang. But let's look at and how they hang physically inside. Maybe that'll help some of you guys to understand what happens. Okay, well, we found our issue. I've already freed these. There was 1, 2, 3, 4 stuck injectors. Something must be bound up. I got nothing. Doesn't want to move at all. Let's see what we can come up with. That one's fine. 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 It's got to be one of these. Fine. Fine. Why? Well, why? Trying. There she goes. Now it's coming. See? Must have just been a little film in one of them hanging her up, but it was definitely on this side, so it was probably one of these back ones here hanging it. That's what you want. That is how it's supposed to work, boys. It's supposed to be super springy. Yes, it springs back to full fuel, and that's because right now we have the fuel lever. The shutdown is pushed in, so the engine, when it shuts off, goes to full fuel. Unless you pull out the shutdown, that brings the rack to no fuel. All right, boys, well, we're back. You saw we got the injectors freed up. I had to put the cab down. It was like super windy, or you had a bunch of weather coming in. I just didn't want to leave it open, so I put the cab back down, went in for the night. We're back here. It's 2 days later. It rained all day yesterday. What we got to do now is we got to get this emergency shutdown flat freed up. And then we also need to connect an oil pressure gauge somewhere on the engine so that I can see what oil pressure it's got from out here. I think there's usually one. Yeah, I think there's one here. There's a I think that goes into the cab. If I had to guess, that would go into the cab. There's an oil pressure takeoff here in the back of the block, and one of the lines should come over to this thing, which is your lube refiner. Ow. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the deal. So we'll pull the disconnect the gauge from in the cab because we can't see it anyway, and do that. I got all the wiring fixed here. The switch was destroyed, so I couldn't fix the switch. I ordered one. If anybody needs it, let me know. I'll give you the new Carling part number for it. If you search the original build number from Peterbilt, it just comes back as what do they call it, obsoleted, so you can't get one from Pete. So, but Carling is who makes all the switches for Peterbilt anyway. They're the OEM supplier, and Carling is the best switch in the world anyways, so that's all you're gonna want, trust me. I'll give you the part number for Carling. If you need it, just reach out to me. We got our shutdown cable working. That works good. It's a little stiff, but it's better than it was, so that works. It does move the racks. We are going to pull the valve cover back off before we start it, so I can put vice grips on it just in case. And like I said, I do want to have that ready to go just in case anything. You don't know if one of these injectors is going to lock back up on you, so especially for a first start, you always just want to make sure you got everything ready to go in case there's a problem. So I just sprayed that. Oh, the other thing we got to do is we got to get under the truck here, and I want to pull the oil plug on the bottom of the oil pan and just make sure there's no water in the oil. It didn't look it from the stick, but you can never be too careful with these. Fucking thing is still leaking. All right, well, let's get to it. So let's get you guys in a spot where you could see me pull the pan. I'm gonna probably need a little bit different GoPro material for that, so hang on. All oil, so that's good. What's it smell like? It smells like oil, so excellent. Let me, Jesus Christ, let me get a rag. Somebody's already been in here trying to do this. See, there's like scarring all over the shaft from exactly these vice grips. Well, I mean, probably not the same exact pair, but Somebody's tried this. I'm willing to bet they didn't have a whole lot of success from the look of it. Well, that was a total waste of time. So now I'll try to mess with this oil connection, I guess. I'm gonna do that off camera. It's like super tight. You can't really get in there with, you're not gonna be able to see nothing anyway. Alright, well, major failure. Turns out that leak is not the line. The cylinder's leaking that controls that lock, so whatever, there's nothing I can do about it. Once we get it running, I'll jack the cab up, set it on some blocks, and send that out to get rebuilt, I guess. So off camera, what you didn't see was I went around the other side and I vacuumed out the intake. There's like a bunch of shit, like corrosion and stuff that just accumulates from setting. So I vacuumed all that out. We're good. Anyway, like I was saying, I vacuumed out the intake with all the corrosion and stuff, so that's good to go. Pulled the battery charger off. We're ready to go over here. We have to hook the batteries up and see. I want to see if I can short some of these wires together and get it to crank, and that'll save me from having to put the switch on at the jumper. So let's do that. I guess I'll go get my switch and see if I can figure something out over here. I should be able to take power. If I take power from here and jump it to one of these, I'm not sure which one, I'll have to look. That will, alright, I got it to crank. Let's see what it does. It's, the series parallel I think is bad. It's not clicking over to 24 volts, so I think it's going to crank too slow to start. Get any oil pressure? Probably not yet. we're gonna have to figure out the 24-volt start here. It ain't never gonna go like that. So hang tight. All right, we got her figured out. Let's see what it does. Got some smoke and some oil pressure. That's good. I think we're gonna give her a little sniff. Trying. Sure draining these batteries quick. It's not helpful. You notice we're not getting smoke no more? I think we got a fueling problem. Well, let me put the batteries back on a charger. Ooh, nice and warm. Put the batteries back on charger, I'll investigate fuel. All right, now what we're gonna do, let's try to get the, I wanna look in these filters here. Dry. There's actually some in there. This smells fucking great. It resembles fuel. I'm not like terribly worried about it. Check our secondary here in a second. Oh, where was I? Ah, yes. Get our. It's not a convenient location, is it, fellas? This isn't one of the better designs I've seen. It's got fuel. Won't look all that bad either. Ooh, almost got fuel. They're right full, so maybe we just need to crank a little bit more. Since we had so many injectors out, the injectors don't have fuel. What we'll do is pull the return line off. See if we're getting any fuel flow. That's the other thing. I'm not like, these primary and secondary fuel lines are just wasted. We might, the suction line is right here from the filter. I may just disconnect it there and we'll run it out of a bucket. I have to go to the store and get some fuel, but that ain't no thing. But I think that's going to be our best bet, because otherwise I don't think this thing's ever going to. I just don't see it pulling fuel through that. Maybe. I just don't see it, boys. Alright, boys. Well, went to the store, got some fuel. Decided I'd have a beer about it. And decided we are going to bypass the filter, the primary, and the tank, etc., etc., etc. We're going to run this right out of a bucket. So I got the bucket over on the other side. Oh, yeah, should dry. Alright. I don't think it's pulling from the tank. This filter's plumbed backwards. What the fuck? How is that a thing? How does somebody do that? In from there. This filter is plumbed backwards, boys. This should be your inlet. It goes down there on the block on the engine and comes to tank. But it's on the outlet side of the filter. This one that won't work. It's never gonna work. Especially with a check valve on it. This should be outlet. I'm just gonna do this from a bucket here, and then what we'll do is we'll investigate that investigate the rest of that at another day. Whether or not that check valve's plumbed correctly, it doesn't matter for what we're trying to do today. I don't know, boys. She's pretty greasy. Let's just see if we can get it to pull fuel, and then we'll go from there. I may have to do something completely different. Next step is to, I'm gonna turn it over while I'm up here. I want to see if the blowers are turning. If the blowers aren't turning, the fuel pump isn't turning. I feel like that's not the case, but it doesn't hurt to check. I want to see if both blowers are turning. Ugh. They are. So that's good. I kind of figured that was the case because I'm getting smoke out of the stack. But now that doesn't mean that the fuel pump wasn't seized. The fuel pump could have been bad. Could have seized and sheared the drive key. I won't know that. I gotta do some more cranking here and see if I can get it to pull fuel. It's acting like it's trying. Let me give it a little whiff and see if I can get it to just come to life. It's like kind of acting like there's fuel there now. There she goes. There she goes. Bear with me, I'm going to tighten that return line before I get fuel everywhere. All right. You boys ready? I'm not sure if I am or not. You bastard. Let me let these charge for a second. Boy, that was fucking mint. It's wild, the stuff that blew out of the stack. I'm not sure what's in there, but it's like, it's gotta be some kind of crazy nest or something. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Look on the ground here. Look at the friggin' bugs. It's like dead friggin' things. Look at this one. Wild, dude. This friggin' muffler's probably full of shit. I think it was this one anyway. I couldn't really tell. You guys are gonna have to tell me because I can't see nothing from what I'm doing, you know. These batteries are friggin' cheesed. Let's go. Good oil pressure. I didn't like that. You hear that RPM increase? I'm not sure if maybe we're trying to hang one. That feels alright. It don't got no coolant in it, so that's the deal. Let's go. have to do something about that secondary there. That's no good. She's a runner, fellas. Kick some shit out of the clutch, looks like. Wow. Kind of hear it wanting to go. I'm gonna put the camera down. We'll put you boys over here so you can see what I'm doing. Shit, where'd I put the... And then you guys can see what we got going on, but I want to get this thing going safely. Turn that off. I don't think we need that right now. Feels alright. Might be just be getting fuel pressure. There you have it, folks. She's a runner. That isn't doing us any favors. Wow. It's got decent oil pressure though, I'm not mad at that. Smoke's pretty good out of that other side, but that could be air in the fuel still. Yeah, look at her. Look at her. Look at how bad that line is. That line is just a return line, and it's legit bleeding out because it's so rotted. So our next mission is going to be to go through and do all of the fuel lines on the truck. Wow. Wow. That's pretty wild. She's a runner, boys. I'm not mad at that. It's gonna need a good bit of work, but that's okay. It's all there. Sick. I'm not sure if I'm gonna get, what do you call it for that? Canisters, or I may just replace them. I'll keep them, put them to the side, but those are total garbage. Nowadays, the problem with these, I had it on my last V12 too, these are specialized canister filter for the V12s only. They're bigger than they are on any of the other motors. And the seals up inside, like if you go buy Baldwin filters or whatever, the seals are the incorrect diameter or whatever, and you cannot get them to seal. And I went through hell on my white and yellow truck, that 359 with the V12, trying to get it to pull fuel. I kept getting air in the fuel and couldn't figure it out, and that's what it ended up being. So we're gonna order new housings, spin-on filters, and we're gonna do all the lines. So absolutely every line, from the tank all the way to the engine, all the lines on the engine, everything's gonna be new. Because like I said, you really can't take any chances with these. They pull fuel, or they'll suck air and it won't run right. It'll do all sorts of weird shit. Squirrel! Oh, look at that. Mud daubers in the crank vent. Oh, wild. Holy shit. Rattled them right out of there. What a ripper. So that's where we're going to leave her. Thanks for coming along with me. This is the first time this truck is running since '86, I believe. Just appreciate you coming along on the journey. We will pick back up when we start doing whatever it is we do next to this thing. I think it's going to be the fuel lines. And then once we get it to start, idle, and run reliably, we will, you know, put the cab down and see about getting it to go into gear, you know, just see what we got going on there. I got a feeling we're going to have a lot. It ain't never going to build air right now. There's way too many busted lines, I'm pretty sure. But at least we got it running. I think the next thing is going to be, like I said, the fuel lines, just to make it run reliably. And so we don't have to worry about it. I'd like to be able to start it from in the cab. That would be ideal. But I don't know. I'll keep you posted. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next one. Boy, she's in gear. She is. That she is. Now she'll come out of gear. Do me a favor, try to pull that stick back. There you go.
There she is.
That shit almost got sketchy quick. It's a good thing I had the fuel off. I ran it too long before with that other thing. Shit! I forgot to look at the oil pressure gauge on the dash. See if it works. Got it? Good?
Yeah, let me just hang on this door a little bit. Yeah.
You good?
Yeah.
Nothing?
Nothing.
That's odd. Is it leaking? Doesn't look like it's leaking. They might have to refill that whole line though, so
Yeah.
I'll let it run us for a second. Nothing. Huh. Well, I'm not worried about it. I know it has oil pressure.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't bother, like, fucking around using this factory
I mean,
gauge.
what happened was the tit moved all. It just went
Just like,
like a tit, and that was it.
I guess we'll know in a minute, like, if I get in there and there's oil running off from underneath the dash.
Yeah, you'll know that.
Yeah, that the line was junk. So it wouldn't surprise me. So I know you guys were all wondering about this green valve cover. No, I didn't paint the cover. I put this one on here because it rained the other day, and I went ahead and cleaned up the other one. So the astute amongst you, I did not put a green valve cover on it. But I only have one spare tall tin, so I had to do one at a time. So we'll do the other one. You'll see it in the next video maybe.